What's going on, Giants fans? You're watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and in today's show, we're going to get into a preview of Week 2 of the NFL preseason, Giants versus Bengals. But I want to hear from you right now and all of the real ones out there. Who do you got winning this ball game? Type NYG for the Giants, type CIN for the Bengals. I want to hear all your responses in the comments right now. What up, everybody? Let's talk a little Giants football. Let's go through a preview of Week 2 of the NFL preseason, the Bengals versus the Giants. We're going to highlight 5 things to watch for in this game. I think there's a lot of things you could look at. I had a tough time coming up with just 5 things, but the game is this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. This is what the matchup's going to look like. The Giants, they are 3-point favorites, and the over-under is at 35 points right now. So Vegas is expecting a low-scoring game. Giants favored by 3. Game this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be going live on the channel at 6:45 Eastern. So subscribe, turn your notifications on so you can join us for a watch party, play-by-play. It'll be a party. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you there. But let's get to the 5 things I'm looking forward to the most in the game. And the first thing is the first team offense. I want to see if this team can get in the end zone, if they can have multiple good drives. I'm expecting the first team offense to look good because according to Jordan Renan, he put out on Twitter that Coach Brian Daboll said he expects the Giants starters to play in the second preseason game versus the Bengals. How much is still be determined. So we're going to see Daniel Jones. We're probably going to see Saquon Barkley. We'll see a little bit of Andrew Thomas. We'll see Mark Lewinsky. We'll see the first team O-line, Evan Neal. Maybe we see Kadarius Toney. I don't know. I think we'll see Galladay. I think we'll see Slayton, Richie James, Wan'Dale Robinson. So we'll see a good chunk of the first offense. And the Giants' first team offense is going to be going up against the Bengals' second team defense because Paul DeHenner, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name, but he covers the Cincinnati Bengals, and he said he just got out of a press conference with Zac Taylor, and he said, Zac Taylor said, no starters are expected to play in New York, same as last week. So the Giants' first team offense is going to be going up against the Bengals' second team defense. And let's go look at last week's game a little bit. The first team offense last week scored just 3 points versus the New England Patriots backups in 2 drives. Should have been a touchdown. Kenny Galladay dropped an in route from probably about 6 yards out from Daniel Jones. Hit him in the back hip. Should have been a catch, but he dropped it. Is what it is. Giants settled for 3. And then they did not get into enemy territory. We have a good-looking drive in drive number 2 versus the New England Patriots second team. And I need a first-team offensive touchdown against the Bengals this week. I need to see Daniel Jones lead a scoring drive. I need to see them end a drive with 7 points on the scoreboard. That will help me, calm down a little bit. I'm not out on this offense, but I'm starting to be a little bit more concerned as practices go by and games go by. So I want to ask you guys this question. What's your concern level for the Giants offense heading into the 2022 NFL season? Are you concerned? Do you think this offense is going to be bad? Do you think it's going to be good? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being you're not concerned at all. It's still way too early. It's the preseason. Daniel Jones is going to turn it around with Brian Daboll. 10 being you're concerned and you're ready to bench Daniel Jones right now. Scale it somewhere in between for me in the comments right now. I'm also going to be looking at the secondary, and then specifically Aaron Robinson, because he was absolutely torched by the New England Patriots last week. There was a drive where Aaron Robinson was targeted 5 times. In one drive, to be targeted 5 times by an opposing team clearly tells you that the other team sees you as a weakness and you were a focal point in their game plan leading up to the game. He was targeted 5 times, only allowed 3 catches, only, more than 50%, not good. Allowed 44 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 2 penalties. He got called for a holding on that touchdown he gave up. And he also was called for a taunting flag, which was BS. He did the classic DB where they wave their arms and they say, no, sir. But the ref threw a flag. Ultimate soft move by the ref. But I'm also going to be looking at this DB depth chart in particular on the game this week. I do not want to see Adoree Jackson out there. He's clearly our best corner. He has nothing to prove in the rest of the preseason. Put him in bubble wrap and keep him healthy for week 1 of the NFL season. Darnay Holmes is going to be in the slot with Aaron Robinson on the outside, but I'm also going to be looking at the backups here. I don't expect Cordell Flott to play. He's still coming back from that groin injury, but you got Darren Evans, you got Dorsey, you got Zion Gilbert. Those guys are all competing to make this roster, and week 2 is really going to, in the preseason, is going to be their chance to prove to Brian Daboll and Wink Martindale that these are guys that can make it on the 53-man roster. And speaking of the 53-man roster, once we get cuts for that, we'll get you guys a video. But we're also going to be going live on the channel this Sunday, 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Flint, Michigan, Mega Bowl. Flint, Michigan, Mega Bowl. Be there this Sunday, 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Week 2 of the preseason. We're going to be doing a watch party. Play-by-play. It'll be just me chopping it up with you guys, having a conversation, throwing back some drinks, having a good time, talking Giants football, and hopefully seeing another win. If you're a real one, I expect to see you there this Sunday, 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe, turn notifications on so we can have a party. I'm also going to be looking at this offensive line very, very closely coming up against the Bengals, because I don't want to say the offensive line played bad against the Patriots. I felt like they struggled a little bit in pass protection. They were good in run blocking. They were able to move people. It's just that I felt like there was a little bit too much pressure at times on Tyrod Taylor, on Daniel Jones, and on Davis Webb. And when you look at this Giants offensive line depth chart, the first O-line played pretty well on the first drive. Andrew Thomas only played about 7 snaps on that first drive. I expect him the same to only play about 1 drive. But guys like Shane Lemieux, he's probably not going to play. Hasn't practiced this week. He was knocked out with an injury against the Patriots, had that foot injury. He's wearing a walking boot. John Feliciano, I expect to see him out there, as well as Glowinski and Evan Neal. And then you got the backup offensive lineman. Josh Azudu, Jamil Douglas was hurt. I'm going to keep a close eye on Ben Bredesen, though, because he's looked really good in camp. I thought he looked good against the Patriots, and he might be your backup center. Or if Shane Lemieux or John Feliciano is not ready week 1, Bredesen could be the guy to start at the left guard spot. But I'll really have my eyes on Evan Neal, who played 18 total snaps last week against the New England Patriots. Some people said he played bad. He did give up a sack. He looked like a rookie at times. Too far on his feet, sometimes not getting off the ball quick enough. But out of those 18 total snaps, he had 12 winning reps where he won the rep, where he dominated the guy across from him. He had 2 losing reps where he just straight up lost, and then 4 neutral reps where it was like an offset run to the other side, a backside run, and Evan Neal's block really had no impact on the play. So overall, 12 winning reps out of 18 snaps is good for Evan Neal. First game in the NFL. I expect him to get better and better. I want to see him be a better pass blocker this week, though. But once he gets his hands on you in the run game, watch out. It's about to be like you're at IHOP and pancakes absolutely everywhere. I want you to predict the score for me in the comment section right now. I know it's the preseason, but be a genie. Rub your crystal ball and predict the score of the Giants game in the comment section right now. Whoever gets it right, if someone gets it right, I will feature you on next week's preview for week 3 of the preseason. Here at Giants Now, we are growing like crazy, and we are growing to platforms that you guys use. Giants Now is now putting their content over on Rumble, a very similar content creator app like YouTube, but a little bit more edgy, has a little bit more New York blood in it. It's not censored. You can hear me say the F word if you want. So give us a follow at rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. My favorite part about Rumble is you can listen to our videos over on Rumble, audio podcast style only if you want to. You don't got to watch the video. You can close out of the app, put the phone in your pocket, and just listen to me talk about the Giants. If that's more of your style, give us a follow, rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. I'm also going to be looking at the running back rotation heading in to this game against the Cincinnati Bengals, because I thought the running backs against the Patriots looked good. All of them really, really looked good. Saquon looked good. Brightwell looked good. Antonio Williams looked good. And Ja'Shawn Corbin. And it was kind of an even split when it comes to the rep share. Barkley had 4 carries. Brightwell 7. Antonio Williams led the pack with 9 carries. And Ja'Shawn Corbin had 6. Williams was the most impressive back, 61 yards. I thought Brightwell looked really good too, though. Was running through arm tackles. But Brightwell has been in and out of practice this week due to some injuries. So I'm expecting Antonio Williams, Ja'Shawn Corbin, and Sandro Platzgummer to be the guys to get the bulk of the carries. And when you look at this running back depth chart, We know Saquon Barkley is going to make this roster. We know Matt Breida is going to make this roster. And then it's going to be a fight between Brightwell, Corbin, and Williams. I only think one of those guys. I think the Giants ultimately keep 3 running backs. Maybe they keep 4, and maybe 2 of these guys make the roster. But I want to ask you guys this question. Maybe only one of these guys on screen is going to get cut. Maybe, I'll put it like this. I think 2 of these guys on screen make the roster, and 1 guy gets cut. If you had to predict the future, when the Giants get down to 53 players on their roster, which running back do you think is going to get cut? Type JC for Jashaun Corbin, GB for Gary Brightwell, or AW for Antonio Williams. We couldn't do a show about the Giants in a football game without talking about Kayvon Thibodeaux. I am looking forward to seeing number 5 play football once again this week. Didn't play bad, didn't play good against the Patriots, but he really didn't do anything to pop off the screen. First game in the NFL, only played a couple of plays, but I'm expecting him to have a better game. And maybe this game, he'll get his first sack as a New York Giant, which is going to be a very, very long and productive NFL career. But I want to see in general this defensive line depth chart kind of take over this game and assert their will and show you the dominant unit that I believe that they can be. Because with Thibodeaux, Williams, Lawrence, and Azeez Ojulari, that's 4 primetime players on this defensive line that I think is going to have to carry this defense at time. I have questions about this secondary, and when you have guys like Thibodeaux, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, and Azeez Ojulari, I'm expecting them to be some dogs and kind of lead this team and be leaders on the defensive line. That's for sure, no doubt about it. You can also stay up to date on the latest Giants news and rumors by giving me a follow over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. If you followed me already, I want you to type real one in the comments section. If you haven't given me a follow yet, change it today. Do it right now. Right now. Do it right now at @MarshallGreen_. And we'll see you later on the next New York Giants Now.